Hi, listeners. Thanks for joining in. Welcome to another HRO Today educational podcast. In this series, we aim to provide you the latest workforce management approaches and best practices in HR. I'm Debbie Bolla, Vice President and Editorial Director of HRO Today magazine. One result of the COVID-19 pandemic is the current talent market, and it's fiercely competitive. Candidates have more options now, so organizations need to take employee experience into account when trying to increase attraction and retention rates. Considerations like flexible schedules, philanthropy, internal mobility, a good candidate experience, and new ways of working are shaping how HR and TA leaders are approaching their talent attraction and management strategies. Today, I have an expert here with me to provide additional insight into how some of today's trends are pushing the overall talent strategy. Doro serves as Vice President of Enterprise Sales for DZConneX. She has 15 years of experience in translating complex talent challenges and turning them into technology-driven solutions. She also has experience both designing and implementing global MSP and contingent workforce programs for the Fortune 100 and taking new MSPs into the mid-market. DZConneX delivers comprehensive workforce solutions to help clients optimize the acquisition process and management of critical talent, and provide integrated technology, tools, and insights that enable strategic decision-making and growth. Its suite of solutions includes MSP, RPO, payrolling management, IC and compliance, SOW, service procurement, direct sourcing, and contingent RPO. Diana, thanks for joining me today. The world of work has clearly forever been changed by the impact of COVID-19. What should organizations offer in order to meet candidates' new expectations of work?
That's a great question. I think that companies, in realizing that the way that they need to attract talent has changed, carries over to how candidates want to work. There's a lot of things that are going around now as options to make the work week more attractive. Things like hybrid schedules or a shorter work week is growing in popularity in Europe, for example. I think that communication about work expectations is paramount right now. If a company is willing to offer a work-from-home arrangement, that should be communicated in the onset. So even for talent that they're hoping to retain, I know that I've gone remote, and so have a lot of my colleagues, and we were anxious about whether or not that was going to continue, and for many of us it has. But I do think that there are some companies that are falling down in communicating what their future plans are. I encourage companies to be transparent through this entire process because the pandemic has really shifted everyone's priorities. It, in the beginning, gave us more time with family and made us value that more. And so I think now that talent is expecting that in some level will continue, that they'll have more time on things like their hobbies or even to spend on their mental health. And companies that are making that a priority for their workers are going to come out ahead.
And what about company purpose and philanthropy? Does this make a difference?
In my opinion, it does in the job search process. For retention, maybe not as much. In facing the great reshuffle that we're in, almost 1 in 4 workers are looking to make a change. I don't know how many candidates are going to leave their current job for a job that has a better mission. But for new job seekers, I think that it's very important, especially for millennials. I recently read the Millennial Impact Report, which said that one of the top 3 factors that millennials think about when they apply for a job are what the organization does, the culture, and then the involvement with different causes, things like philanthropy, or whether or not they have a strong mission with a driving purpose that's going to impact their community. I think that these things absolutely do matter. And again, it comes down to communication. Companies that are looking to attract and retain top talent in that generation are going to need to highlight their mission and how that fuels a culture at the company of giving and philanthropy.
And what are some other strategies to combat the current talent shortage?
It certainly is something that needs a lot of attention. It's a talent shortage that I haven't seen one similar in a long time. There's a lot of ways that companies can be proactive in this, even though we're really in the throes of the talent shortage. I've certainly seen a lot more partnership for my company with our customers in helping attract talent that they can't get in front of. These partnerships exist for a reason, right? There's companies that are doing new and exciting things to attract talent for their customers that allow them to use the employer brand to do that. On-demand RPO is an example of this, and we definitely have seen, the industry itself has seen an uptick in the use of outsourcing as a way to try to bridge that gap for talent that's lacking. So the use of a contingent workforce is on the rise for a reason right now. It's definitely a bridge to the shortage. If companies are going to decide to do their own external hiring, I think a step they can take to bridge that talent shortage is to reconsider what they look for in a qualified candidate. And that begins with completely reevaluating how they're going to market for their openings. What are the must-have requirements for this job? In a lot of cases, companies are excluding talent that very much could be a fit. And I think that that is unintentional or something that they are not perhaps reevaluating at a time when that reevaluation could go a long way. Another way to stay ahead of the talent shortage is to be as proactive as possible. There is a reason that the term direct sourcing has grown in interest as much as it has this year, because we're in this difficult time for attracting talent. And direct sourcing is a solution that many companies are turning to that can help them build private talent pools. So if we know that one of the ways to get quality talent is to leverage your brand to keep the candidate engaged and to nurture those relationships with, let's say, silver medalist candidates, direct sourcing is a great way to do that. And this isn't a new technique. Companies have been doing it for a long time privately. But we've also seen a rise in the use of managed direct sourcing, where this process is going to a partner that can leverage their client's employer brand, nurture candidate relationships, and keep a warm pool of talent readily available for when there are things like seasonal peaks in hiring. We're coming up on the holidays, so this is something that's particularly relevant, or when there are gaps in their ability to fill their open requisitions because there just isn't enough talent in the marketplace. And this is a trend that I definitely think is going to continue.
That's a great point. In this talent market, it's crucial for all talent to have a good first impression. What can organizations do to ensure they have a good candidate experience?
I completely agree. First impression is everything in this market. I think that it lends a lot to why direct sourcing is becoming a new solution, because it leverages employer brand. Promoting employer brand in the hiring process, I think, is one of the strongest steps that companies can take to engage talent in the right way and really make it clear from the start what kind of an organization you are and what you stand for, and to highlight the benefits that working for your company is really going to bring to that candidate. Candidates do not like to have their time wasted. They want a personalized hiring process. Candidates are wanting to feel those human-to-human interactions. Now, some of the solutions that are in the market now, they are run by artificial intelligence, or there are automated steps behind the scenes that are keeping that process moving along, but they do provide multiple touch points. Direct sourcing is one of them. On-demand RPO is one of them. And those multiple touch points definitely are required going forward to keep talent engaged. It's just the case that there's more contact to this talent from competing employers as well. I think there's a reason that private talent pools are on the rise in this marketplace, mostly because of that. And then I also would say that during the interview process, it's important to encourage the candidate to interview you as well. Nobody in this market wants a one-sided conversation. Truly, companies need the talent that's out there. And so why would an interview be one-sided? If I were hiring, I'd make sure the candidate felt comfortable to ask me questions as well, because today's talent's looking for employers who challenge the norm and challenge them. And what a great way to start that process, to let each candidate know that they have a choice and that your organization values their voice.
Asking for candidate feedback is some great advice. Thanks, Diana, for joining me today. Until next time, listeners, I'm Debbie Bolla.